Well, welcome to another week of the GoDaddy Pro meetup series. We are here this month to discuss e-commerce. And so we have a very generous guest, Marcus here from Skyverge. And so we are going to be discussing some really cool e-commerce topics. One thing to note is that if you want to chat, there is a chat box. And on top of that, there's a Q&A section inside of the chat. So feel free, if you have any questions during what he is sharing knowledge-wise, to drop those questions either in chat or in the Q&A. And I will pop back on in a little bit and field those questions for Marcus. So in the meantime, I'm going to turn things over to you, and you are going to share some amazing bits of knowledge.
Yeah, thanks, Sandy. And thank you for everyone that showed up. Let me see if I can share my screen here. Share and present. All right. Thanks again for coming to today's GoDaddy Pro events meetup about saving time with WooCommerce extensions. We'll get to the extensions in just a minute, but to start, let me tell you a little bit more about myself. My name is Marcus Burnette. I am on the support team for GoDaddy's managed WooCommerce hosting specifically, and also for the Skyverge plugins that have been on the WooCommerce.com website as well. I'm part of the team that came over in the acquisition in the fall with Skyverge. Skyverge, like I mentioned, developed over 60 premium extensions that live on the WooCommerce.com website for purchase, and many of those are now part of the managed WooCommerce platform for GoDaddy as well. I support, or I'm on the team that helps support both of those, both the managed WooCommerce platform and the WooCommerce.com plugins. And also just enjoy working with the WordPress and WooCommerce communities to just help everybody save time running their WooCommerce stores. So what we'll cover today here, a couple of our least favorite things to have to deal with when we're running a WooCommerce store or any commerce store, and that's taxes and shipping. But we'll also take a look at some email marketing, some address validation, and multi-channel selling as well. And then at the end, we'll have time for some Q&A. So let's just get into the extensions. The first one that I'd like to share about is WooCommerce Avatax. And what WooCommerce Avatax does is it automates sales tax calculations on purchases, and it saves you time from having to deal with figuring out sales tax for your customers' orders. It automatically calculates the rates, and I have noted on here as well for cross-border calculations. So it doesn't even matter if you are working on or if you're selling to customers internationally across state or country lines, Avatax can handle that as well. And if you choose, Avatax can also automatically file those taxes for you, which makes it even larger of a time save, so you can focus on running your store and not worrying about calculating tax rates or filing those either. WooCommerce Avatax is a free plugin, but it does require an Avatax account, which does include some charges as well. The next one I'd like to look at is WooCommerce Shipping, and it does, you guessed it, it handles shipping. With the WooCommerce Shipping plugin, you can print shipping labels right from your WooCommerce dashboard, and that allows you to save time by just simplifying the shipping process entirely. If you run a WooCommerce store or an e-commerce store that sells physical products, you know that one of the most time-consuming parts of that is just the shipping fulfillment part of it. So with WooCommerce Shipping, you can print the shipping labels. It reduces your chances of error. It uses the customer's address that they input at checkout to generate the label as well. So your chances of error are lower. And that saves you on time and money from having to deal with returned packages that didn't make it to their destination, to the correct destination. And then the other perk with WooCommerce Shipping is that there's a partnership between WooCommerce and USPS and DHL that will provide some significant savings on purchasing the package labels, the shipping labels as well, where it would be much more expensive to go directly to USPS and DHL for those. The partnership helps save quite a bit of money. This one also, the extension itself is free, but of course it does require paying for the shipping labels as you print them. The caveat here at the bottom I noted as well, currently this is only for US merchants with USPS and DHL as shipping options. But I know that WooCommerce has mentioned that they are looking to grow that and add some additional services as well over time. So the next one I want to share is Automate Woo, and I have it listed here as saving time on email marketing, although that's only part of what Automate Woo does as a whole. And I will share a little bit more about that at the end of the slide here, but we'll focus on the email marketing part of it to begin with. So what does Automate Woo do? It allows you to send a wide variety of powerful, lucrative, automated emails. And what that really means is that Automate Woo will allow you to trigger certain actions like emails based on events that happen at your store. The first note here under why it's useful is automations require little effort and can be high value. From Jilt, which is Skyverge's email marketing platform, we have data that shows that something like a cart recovery email, cart abandonment email, generates 28 times more revenue per email than broadcasts. Broadcast would be something like a newsletter email. And the reason that is because cart abandonment emails and emails like that, they're much more targeted. So they generally include the items that the customer was looking at and will include those back in the cart when they click through. And it also gives you the ability to send some sort of incentive like a discount or something that they might want to consider to push along the conversion there, where newsletter emails are generally a bit more broad and to the mass customers and not very targeted to any specific customer. I have here send lots of different types of automations at different points. Again, the cart abandonment email is one option, but Automate Woo also allows you to send emails for a number of other reasons. It could be that you want to send customers a discount for their next order after they just ordered. Automate Woo can handle that, or a welcome order on their first email, or status updates when their orders change statuses from, say, pending payment to processing or something like that. And it also integrates with many other top WooCommerce extensions like subscriptions, memberships, bookings, points, and rewards. So with that integration, you could also send emails when a subscription is renewed or when a booking is placed, and that could provide some additional information about the booking and that sort of thing. I also noted points and rewards here at the bottom. Like I said, Automate Woo does a few other things besides just email marketing. And so I listed points and rewards. Points and rewards is a premium extension that adds a point system to your site that allows your customers and users to accumulate points and then can use those for checking out as well. And Automate Woo can handle things like adding points upon renewal subscription, or certain bookings could add additional points as well. So it's a great plugin for doing email marketing, and it also does a number of other things. The price for Automate Woo is $99 a year. That doesn't require any additional subscriptions or services, though if you do take advantage of the integrations with subscriptions, memberships, that sort of thing, those extensions may require yearly cost as well. Postcode address validation is a great extension to help with validating shipping addresses. It kind of ties back into the WooCommerce shipping option earlier by validating the customer's address at checkout. And that reduces, again, the likelihood of a package being returned to you and having to figure out what the actual address is and send it out. So that saves both time and money during when fulfilling shipments for customers. The retail price for the extension is $49 a year. That does also require integration with a service that will do the lookup of the address. And this connects to any of 5 different services to do the lookup. So the pricing plans vary there, but most of them do have a free tier as well. And then kind of the last one I wanted to look at for now is multi-channel for WooCommerce, which allows you to save time on multi-channel, or sometimes called omni-channel marketing and selling. And what it allows you to do is to have a single source of truth for your store, which would be your WooCommerce website. And that is where you would add your products and manage your orders and all of that. But then multi-channel for WooCommerce would allow you to sync those product listings to other top marketplaces, including Google, Amazon, eBay. And I believe that Walmart.com was just added to this not too long ago as well. Like I said before, it allows you to create your product listings at your website and then syncs the products, including their descriptions, prices, and even inventory to the other top marketplaces across the web. Each of those have some different unique features, just because they handle some of the listings and all of that a little bit differently. But they do real-time sync the inventory as well. And that way you don't have products that are sold out on your website that are still being sold on the marketplaces, or vice versa. And then the other nice thing is that all of your orders are funneled back into WooCommerce, so you can also just use your order admin area within your website to fulfill those orders and to report on those and just see what's going on within the other marketplaces. That is a free extension at WooCommerce.com. However, there are some integration services required after a 2-week trial, and those start at $29 a month. And then lastly, there are a few that just didn't quite make the cut above, but that are also very valuable in saving time for you for your WooCommerce store. The first set here is for exporting or migrating your site. If you are looking to move to WooCommerce from another e-commerce platform, for example, you'll definitely need to be able to move all of your products and orders and customers over. So I have a couple listed here for Product CSV Import Suite, which will allow you to import your products from your other store into your WooCommerce store. And then Customer Order Coupon CSV Import will do just that. It will help you import your customers' orders and coupons from the other platform over to WooCommerce, or between 2 WooCommerce platforms as well. It doesn't have to be from an external platform. Then I have the aptly named WooCommerce Print Invoices and Packing Lists, which does exactly what it says. It helps you to print invoices and packing lists. And this allows you to just streamline the customer communication and management there, to be able to share invoices and packing lists easily with your customers. Under organizing orders, I have WooCommerce Order Status Control. And this does a very simple thing very well. If you are running a WooCommerce store that doesn't sell physical goods, that just sells virtual goods like PDF downloads or music files or video files or something like that, by default, WooCommerce will set paid orders in a processing status, and it waits on you to move it to complete based on having fulfilled the order. So WooCommerce Order Status Control will take care of moving your orders from processing to completed for virtual and downloadable orders, since you don't need to actually fulfill those. And then lastly here, I have manage stock. And I have a free extension here called Product SKU Generator. One of the important things when managing inventory in your store is making sure that your products all have SKUs so that that WooCommerce can manage the inventory accurately. But depending on how many products you have in your store, that can be a bit cumbersome. So Product SKU Generator just does the work for you there and takes care of generating SKUs. And with that, I will hand it back over to Sandy. But if you want to get a hold of me after the meetup, you can find me on Twitter at Marcus D. Burnette or email me at mburnette@godaddy.com.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Okay, do we have any questions? Feel free to throw them in chat, put them in the Q&A. I know Beth asked a question in the middle, and yes, these are archived for later, so we'll be able to watch those as you need, Beth, for sure. I know there's a lot of good information in here for being able to reference back to it later on when you're building that e-commerce site. Maybe you're not building them right now, and you're going to in the future. Or it's like, oh, well, what was that thing to send the cart abandonment emails again? So yes, we want to make sure that this lives as evergreen as possible. So, do you have any recommendations for product reviews?
Depends. Looking for product reviews, how? So WooCommerce does have some built-in product review capability already. I don't know if you're looking for more than that. There is an extension called Product Reviews Pro, I believe simply called Product Reviews Pro on WooCommerce.com Marketplace. That does offer the ability for customers to add videos and images and star ratings and a bit more than just the default WooCommerce reviews. But it just depends on how much you're looking to do with product reviews, I suppose.
Yeah, that's a good point, because it really comes down to how advanced do you want to go with those types of things. I am putting the link in the chat, Richard, so feel free to grab that and see if that will work. And if for some reason it won't, feel free to reach out, and that way we can hopefully point you in the right direction. But at least it's got you heading the. So you tried that and it doesn't work. What type of reviews are you trying to hunt down? Let's put it that way and see. Social confirmation. I'm not sure, Richard, if you can DM me your email address, let's see if we can hunt you down some answers. And that way we can have a larger conversation.
I don't have a specific recommendation there right off the top of my head, but it sounds like looking for pulling in like Google reviews and that sort of thing. Is that the case, Richard?
Oh, for displaying them? Yeah, for displaying the reviews. Yep. Yeah, we'll see what we can do to point you in the right direction there, for sure. I know that I only built one or two very small e-commerce sites myself, and most of them were just to help someone out that was trying to raise some money for a good cause. Do you have a favorite thing that you would say, it doesn't matter what product you're selling, this is the extension you want to have? I know, things like taxes are important and shipping and all that is important, but is there one thing that stands out to you that is like a do not skip this?
Yeah, good question. I work with so many different types of websites that it feels like they're just a do not skip this for different sites. I think, again, like I said at the beginning, those taxes and shipping and payment gateways are kind of the must-haves. Once you've kind of checked those boxes, everything else is kind of gravy. So I think, searching out the best way to, handle taxes and deal with shipping and that sort of thing right from the get-go. Maybe, if you're doing a bit of order management or allowing customers to have accounts and that sort of thing, something like social login is nice. It helps customers be able to get into their accounts very quickly and not have even more passwords to remember. Password management has gotten out of control. Everything has a password and it all has to be different. And there are password managers for that. But, I like logging in with the social networks because it's just nice and easy. Usually it's one click and I'm in. So maybe something like a social login piece.
That makes sense for sure. Let me see if we had any other questions. Sam said favorite go-to must-have is Google Analytics Pro. I would totally agree. I am an analytics nerd. Even my personal blog site that gets like maybe 20 hits a day has Google Analytics on it. So yeah, I would second that opinion for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And definitely you want to know sort of what people are most interested in there, what to pump up if people are looking at a specific product a lot and then, it's not converting, then you can definitely make sure, am I doing something wrong? Is the price too high? Am I not selling it well enough? It allows you to sort of pivot on those things. Or likewise, if you have something that gets very little traffic that is converting pretty well, being able to sort of pump that up and advertise that, and that should help, that'll help with sales as well, because obviously it's doing well with the small subset of people that are seeing it, so it just needs some more exposure.
And it's okay to experiment. I think the great thing about having analytics on your site is that you can kind of take a step back and go, okay, well, if we're selling this hat, if we have it on a man versus a woman, how do we sell that hat? Is it sold better with the picture of it, displayed on a male versus female? Or is it, someone with a beard versus not having a beard? Or is it someone having a bright colored shirt that accentuates the boldness of the hat, or someone with, and so changing the imagery up and really looking at all of those things and looking at the analytics and seeing what happens when you make those changes is a very solid way to help boost your end result. And it doesn't have to be that you built this site and you walk away and just kind of watch the sales roll in. It's okay to tinker and play and see if you can increase those percentages. So
yeah, absolutely. And just to kind of to bring home Sam's recommendation there, being able to tinker, you should absolutely tinker, but knowing what you're tinkering and why you're doing it and what the outcome is super helpful. So something like Google Analytics Pro definitely help you figure out whether your tinkering is successful or not.
Absolutely, for sure. Let's see if I have any other Q&A questions in here. Anybody else have any questions? Maybe not. Okay, well, with that, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this session up. Next week, we are still on e-commerce. It's e-commerce month. So all month long, we will be your go-to place to learn all about the different e-com products and services and things like that. Not just that, we offer here at GoDaddy, but also just in general. The end of the month, on the 31st of March, we are actually going to be doing a Q&A. So that is going to be your chance to bring all your questions about e-commerce, and we will have some e-commerce experts ready to go and hopefully answer all of those questions. So yes, thank you all for coming, and we will see you guys same place next week.
Thank you, everyone.